I have 100% it and gotten every single achievement in Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero, or Dragon Ball Sparking Zero if you don't want to add the Z suffix or prefix, however you want to phrase it, to the name of the game. I have attained everything in the game, gotten every item, every BGM, every voice line, every dialogue, every single thing I have attained. The only thing I haven't obtained is reaching the top of the leaderboards and ranked. I'm currently standing at A5 in single battle, and in DP battle I'm currently sitting at B3. Reason so is because I've been doing a lot of player matches with people during my streams. Why am I telling you all this information before I start what I'm talking about in this video? Let me explain something else. October 10th, 2007. That is when the first time I played Budokai Tenkaichi 3. The game released, I believe, October 7th, 2007, but the reason I played 3 days later was because of the fact that my dad was held up by his job, and I remember October 10th, 2007 was the best day I ever spent with my dad, ever. We played that game all day. We unlocked everything in the game in 4 days. All the characters, all the side sagas, every single thing in 4 days. I did not stop playing it. I took days off school. My dad was okay with it. Very horrible parenting overall. Horrifying. I gave up my copy of Devil May Cry 3 to my friend so that he could give me another PS2 remote, because I only had one, to play with my brother. He really wanted Devil May Cry 3. He wanted to be Dante Must Die mode. I loved everything about this game. Up the past 3 years of it coming out, from 2007 to 2010, I proceeded to play with everybody in my neighborhood. I lost hundreds of times. I won thousands of times. I was a big fish in a small pond, until finally they hosted a Budokai Tenkaichi 3 tournament. Me and my brother entered. I was third place, he was first. And then that trend continued for a while until I finally got to second. And then 1 year I was so close to beating him, and it didn't happen. He beat me with Devilman. If you don't know who Devilman is, he's a Dragon Ball character from Baba's Palace. Everything about Dragon Ball Z, I love. I have loved Dragon Ball ever since I was young. I didn't know Dragon Ball Z was an anime. I thought it was a very interesting cartoon when I was growing up. And in my youth, I bullied a bunch of people who enjoyed anime, and Naruto ran through the hallways who were very musty. Every black person I knew, every Mexican person I knew, every white person I knew, every woman, every dad knew about Dragon Ball Z. Kamehameha. More iconic than Pikachu to me in my youth, I loved every bit of it. I love Dragon Ball Z more than I've ever loved anything. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I took off work. I spent time, dedication. I spent so much energy into this game. And I am happy to tell you with every fiber of my being that this is what we've dreamed about. This is the game to set a precedent for everything to come forward from Dragon Ball. We've had arena fighters before. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, we've had that. We've had that before. The Hinokami Chronicles. We have had Dragon Ball Z's before. Raging Blast trying to emulate what Tenkaichi was. Burst Limit, which was trying to emulate what Budokai was. The original Budokai series, not Budokai Tenkaichi. 2 separate series, by the way. We have had games try their best to give us what the Tenkaichi series was. We've had Arena Fighters 2 and Fro, Jump Force, Battle Stadium Dawn, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and Naruto, if you don't know what Battle Stadium Dawn is. We have had everything. I have played every single Dragon Ball game, Legacy of Goku Game Boy games. I have played everything. I have been there for every moment. I have been there for every second, hoping and praying up to the gods above, to Zeus, Hera, Ares, to Poseidon even in the oceans, to everyone, to Prometheus trying to give fire to create heat and have the Bandai Namco Corporation cook with a new game, but we have not gotten it. It had been 17 years. 17 long, disgusting years. Then we got the announcement trailer. We got the announcement trailer and my soul was alight. I could feel it inside of my body. I could feel my body leaving its corporeal form and going incorporeal. I could feel it. I was so happy. And I saw that animation and thought, how are they going to make the whole game like this? How are they going to do that? And I avoided every piece of information. I barely saw any release trailers. I barely saw anything. I pre-ordered the game and waited. I waited. Patiently, adamantly, hoping one day they would give me a release date. I check on Steam one day and see the release date's out. I'm excited. I had told myself I would be the first person to get every achievement, all 50 achievements. I told myself this, and I'm glad to say that I did it. I have accomplished this. Musty, sweat fumigating, mushrooms forming in my pubic area. It was disgusting, but it was worth it. I think it was worth it for the fact of the matter that I just needed to get this out the way. I wanted to finally do one game where people would know that I did it. And it's a worthless accomplishment. It doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Not even that hard to get all the achievements, really. 100 online battles is probably the hardest one. But even then, that wasn't even that difficult. Truly, it was just me trying to play the game in a fun way. And I was scared going into this. I had a fear that they wouldn't really recreate what Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was. I had a fear that they would try to balance characters or make this not a Dragon Ball Z game, make it a fighting game. My fear came from Dragon Ball FighterZ, which was a true, hard, battle-tested fighting game. That was a fighting game. Not a Dragon Ball Z game, a fighting game. Big difference between those two. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, I played all the time. I played on emulators, I played on my OPS2, I played on the Nintendo Wii, I played on everything I could possibly get my hands on. I played Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I played mods that would add hundreds of characters, add Beerus, add Jiren, add all these characters, creating custom movesets. The modding community for this game has been influential and has shaped me deeply. And I knew with my whole chest and soul that if there was ever an official Tenkaichi 4, a new Sparking game in the Sparking series, because that's the original Japanese name for these series, I would truly try my best to become one of the greatest to ever play. And this is to anybody that's watching as well. I'm going to challenge everybody. Syriax, I'm going to challenge Afro Senju. The subtitles are wrong on purpose, by the way. At these points, I'm hoping you're noticing that. I am going to challenge everyone, and I'm going to beat them. This isn't to say that I'm going to become a Dragon Ball Z content creator. No, I'm going to still make any video I ever feel like, because I'm a YouTuber, I broadcast myself, but Dragon Ball Z is a part of me. Now that the pre-introduction is out of the way, let's talk about the game. I feel like the first thing I should talk about while getting into the game is the combat. The combat is just like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 with a few little tweaks to make it more modern. That's pretty much it. They basically revamped and improved the graphics to make the game feel like a modern Tenkaichi game. That's all you're getting. If you knew how to play Budokai Tenkaichi 3, there is a high chance that you are going to be able to get into this game and near immediately snap into it. However, I will say this, it is snappier and floatier at the same exact time. So let me explain what I mean by that. If you're looking at some of the gameplay, they refined it. It isn't as jank. There was a lot of jank inside Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Some jank caused jumping, some janks where things would track weird, some janks where you wouldn't be able to do things or where some techniques wouldn't work correctly or where you could hit characters on the ground. They improved upon that dramatically in this game. There feels to be still a slight level of jank, but not as much as in Budokai Tenkaichi 3. In Tenkaichi 3, you couldn't release an update and fix what was obviously some broken things in the game, some mechanics that perhaps should not have been in the game, some things that ruined a large faction of the game. For instance, there's a move called False Courage. In the original Budokai Tenkaichi 3 game, they would allow False Courage to allow you to super armor through everything. In this game, False Courage allows you a few bits of armor, but you can break through, basically if you're like a heavy character. The heavy characters in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 were given this somehow impenetrable armor based on the power level of the actual show characters, very lore accurate to how it operated in Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. However, in Sparking Zero, the False Courage doesn't give that ability. What it does, if you see Master Roshi do False Courage, it actively gives you a little bit of invulnerability. Like you can get past like 5 ki blasts and maybe a few combos, but if a stronger character hits you, you might flinch. It reduces the flinch aspect of the game. Other aspects of the game are the rush techniques. The tracking on the rush techniques across the board, besides Hercule for some reason, suck. Every single rush technique in the game has significantly worse tracking than Budokai Tenkaichi 3. The tracking has gone down the hill tremendously. However, to make up for this, I feel, you can now do a rush technique while a character is on the ground. This was not in Budokai Tenkaichi 3. There used to be a few certain ultimates that were rush techniques, like Super Saiyan 3 Goku's Dragon Fist, that would work on giant characters. That is not in the game anymore. You cannot do that. Upon all giant characters, they also feel significantly worse. The giant characters in the game are bad. I'm not gonna say that, oh well, you can grab spam and grab the person you're playing against. If you're playing against a weaker person, very good in DP battle. I've seen a lot of Janemba play that is amazing. Janemba is 5 DP. I'll talk about DP later, obviously, but I do want to get that on the point and factor that the gameplay feels solid. It feels amazing. Beam clashes are outstanding. You may have to get used to new beam struggles, as before everything was rotations. Beam struggles and fish struggles where you clash each other's hands, every single clashing mechanic is significantly different. There are new clashing mechanics and new things within the game to expand upon an already good system to make it even great. Predictive counter, that is a great thing to use. Getting used to predictive counter is a great thing to do, especially if you're getting spammed by what is now Dragon Rush. Back in the day, there was Dragon Rush in the game. If you released in sparking mode and then continually tap the light attack button, you would go into a seemingly infinite combo. And if you get behind somebody, they seemingly can't react. It was an insane thing that happened back in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and in this game they have a more dedicated system to let you know that it is in the game. It's a great way to get past story mode upon those very difficult bosses, but the Dragon Rush in this game is phenomenal. Some certain characters have a harder time getting into it. Power characters can't immediately jump into it. Speed type characters can kind of jump right into it. I'm not sure about particularly the technique characters, but in that vein, they can immediately jump into the Sparking Rush. It's better to get behind the person because you can actually get out of Sparking Rush if you click the counter mechanic that is in the game. You counter the technique, you can get out of Sparking Rush. That is something you can do inside of the confines of Sparking Zero. The gameplay moment to moment is perfect to me. It feels like you're watching a show. That's pretty much the goal of what you want it to do. It feels like you're having that fun couch co-op back in the day, like you had with your people in the compatriots when you played with your friends and had fun. It was so good back in the day, and now we get to bring that to the forefront. Somehow this game feels new and nostalgic at the exact same time, and I've never experienced something so amazing in that vein in front. It feels so fun to have this, and have this be one of the main core foundations of what Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is. The gameplay moment to moment is perfection to me. Let's talk about the different modes. Single battle. Single battle online is something that people are going to go sicko mode about. The fact of the matter of single battle mode is crazy. Let me explain. There is online ranked in Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. The game is not balanced at all. There is no sense of cohesion or balance in the entire game. I promise you it does not exist. Some characters are disgustingly more powerful. Whis is some characters people would be scared of. Whis, Beerus, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Ultra Instinct Goku because of some of the auto dodge mechanics. The auto dodge doesn't really come with that much. If you're really good at getting past it, you can pretty much get rid of all the auto dodge mechanic. It doesn't really come out that crazy. And excuse me, you want to get rid of the meter. You want to be able to get rid of that meter, which is good. There are definitively stronger characters in the game that make this game light work. In single battle, you can pick any character you want to. Why would you pick Master Roshi when you can pick Super Saiyan 4 Goku? Why would you pick Videl if you can pick Beerus? Why would you do that? Well, to flex on people mostly, but also in single battle mode, there is no sense of balance. They can't just limit characters or take them out of the game. They can't do that because that would destroy the spirit of Dragon Ball Z. Single battle is usually you're going to see Ultra Instinct Goku, maybe sometimes Beerus, a fusion like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or Vegito. You are just going to see a variety of characters like that because they start off with higher health bars. You might see some oddball picks in there like Yajirobe, simply because Yajirobe is a really broken character for some reason. He has an ability which allows him to get instant sparking. A lot of characters have instant sparking. The best instant sparking that I've found is Bardock. At 4 bars, at 4 little sparking gauge bars, you get a thing called Boom, Saiyan Riot, I believe it's called. And it allows you to do an instant sparking with Bardock. It pushes the opponent back, and that is the best sparking that I've seen in the game. So, with single battle mode, you can pick Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you can pick Jiren, you can pick Topo, or Topo, how they say it in the game. That might be a localization error. Is it Topo or Topo? I'm pretty sure it's Topo. I'm just going to keep saying Topo because that's the first time I heard it. If I'm wrong, then I guess I'm wrong. Not really going to fix myself on that front. But there are a lot of characters in the game, but you're probably going to pick the best ones. You're not going to see Bergamo on single player high tier ranking. However, to circumvent this, there's a much better mode, a much more balanced mode called DP Battle. If you go on DP Battle, you're might going to see the Ginyu Force. The Ginyu Force is everywhere. Oh my goodness. You can pick the entire Ginyu Force. You get a choice of 5 characters. But you only get 15 DP. I believe these are called destruction points, the capacity at which a character can destroy, or damage points, the capacity at which a character can damage, DP. Some characters have significantly less DP. Master Roshi is at 2. Yajirobe's at 2, Cyberman's at 2, Spopovich is at 2, Videl is at 2. Higher tier characters, Videl, Dodoria, Zarbon. I don't have these memorized, by the way. I'm just going by what I do memorize. 4 DP points, Turles. Characters like Tapion. And then as soon as 5 starts, where Vegeta Scouter, if you can change the order, Vegeta Scouter ends, and right there is Android 13. Android 13's right there, boom, 5 immediately. Bunch of 5 characters, probably the biggest variety, up into 6, 7. Some characters are 10 DP. Wiz, Beerus, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Vegito Blue, 10 DP characters. Those are in the game. Making a balanced team is the best way to win this mode. Learning the fundamentals and mechanics of the game and learning how the game operates and learning and getting better at your ground-to-ground combat is the best way to do DP mode. That's the best way you can make a team and formulate it. You can pick the Ginyu Force because they have a bunch of heavy hitters. Raccoon, Birder, Captain Ginyu even. They have some subsidiary characters, Goldo, and we have the golden boy Jace. Jace to me is a testament to how good you are at Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, simply by the fact of the matter that Jace requires a bit of technical skill to play. Birder is a speed character, he gets it done. Power character Raccoon, and I believe Captain Ginyu is technical. He feels great to play. He can also switch bodies. Bunch of wacky gimmicks there. They also got a fun bunch of poses. If you pick them all, they do a silly little pose in the beginning of the match. I love that, but you can change it up. My team in particular is Master Roshi, Spopovich, we have Yajirobe, Bardock, and Goku Black. That equals out to about 15. Boom. Immediately, I got a pretty solid team. Start off with Master Roshi, then later go to Spopovich. They think they got that in the bag. Boom, we got Yajirobe. He can heal himself with a Senzu Bean. That's a full heal. If he's at 1 bar, you can get that off. You get a full heal going. And then we have the next characters, which are my bottom dollars. Characters I consider to be my favorites, I consider my bottom dollars. Characters that will make me or break me. That will save me in the game. DP mode, to me, is the answer to single player. If you're playing single player all the time, I imagine you're really good at one-on-one fights, or you just want to play big characters, and I understand that. I like the fact that you want to play those characters, but DP mode, I imagine, is where people need to get better at formulating teams. You can pretty much tell when somebody doesn't know how to play DP mode because they're going to pick about 3 characters, unless they're just disgustingly cracked at the game. They're usually going to pick Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I've seen that a few times. 10 DP is the max, so if you pick Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you could potentially get 3 other people, but you may not want to do that because those 3 other people may be horrifyingly bad. Actually, it's 2 because I realized Hercule is the only 1-star character or 1 DP character in the game. So you could pick Cyberman and you could get Master Roshi, or you can get Cyberman and you can get Pan, but you can max out at 3 if you pick Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. You don't want Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to be your starter though. That's not something you want to do. There are variety teams you can make with it, such as getting a 7 character. You can get a team of decent characters such as Yajirobe, Master Roshi, get that out the way, get that 4 going, and then get a 4 character or a 5 character. I'm not too good with math in my head right now as I don't have a script written out, but you can pretty much add in a 7-star character like Metacooler who can heal himself, or Kid Buu who can heal himself. Those 2 characters are great to have as your bottom dollars and the thing to make up for what you've lost. But a thing about DP mode is that it has a time limit. Can't be on this mode all day. So if you have characters that can do auto recover, or if you have just characters to add and pan out time, adding Hercule at the end so you can have 1 extra character on top of the other person and beating them out through time mechanics and time scamming them, that also is a mechanic that could potentially work. I'm not going to downplay that. I'm not going to say that's a horrible tactic. I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it. I am saying that it does work though. That is a mechanic that does work indefinitely. So, now then, we've gotten DP, single battle out the way. Those are the online modes. There are a variety of other modes as well. Let's talk about story mode.
Son Goku, defender of Earth, powerful, destructive, trying to better himself, trained by Master Roshi with his best friend Krillin, are encountered by Raditz. Who is this? With his son Gohan, Son Gohan. Raditz takes him and says, you must use your ability as a Saiyan warrior to take over this planet. It should have been done ages ago. You are defiling the Frieza Force.
That is the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. I have seen and played the beginning of Dragon Ball Z millions of times. I can tell you the entirety of Dragon Ball Z. I can tell you the thematic relevance of Goku taking out his brother to choose his found family over his biological family as a common theme in Shonen. I can tell you the thematic relevance of Goku overcoming himself, his Saiyan nature, and allowing Vegeta to get stronger so that he can test himself and prove himself doing something horribly selfish. I can tell you the fact that Super Saiyan was a lazy thing Toriyama done, but still the most iconic thing ever in animation when it comes to how thematically powerful that was. Original Super Saiyan had white hair in order so Toriyama could reduce inking, hence why the entirety of the Cell Saga, Goku is basically in Super Saiyan form, and that's why Trunks, when he's introduced, has white hair and he is in Super Saiyan form to reduce the inking. I can tell you everything about Dragon Ball Z in the story. I can tell you from the Cell arc how it's important that Gohan defeated Cell because it breaks generational trauma. It destroys the aspect of everything that is Goku, because Cell is the culmination of Frieza, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Goku himself, thus showing that Gohan is the true defender of Earth because he defeated all of Goku's past. I can tell you why Majin Buu is important because it emphasized the magic and the world building of Dragon Ball Z. I can tell you why Super is important, but I think that's impossible. I am telling you this because I am saying I have played the story mode of Dragon Ball Z hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. I have seen the same story play out hundreds of times. That's why Dragon Ball FighterZ is a breath of fresh air, because they invented new characters for it. When they do new things with the story, I get very excited. So I was playing through the story, and I had heard through the grapevine that you can make different decisions. I thought this was going to be a bit more, if I could give a phrase to it. I got done with every single story. I got done with every little side path. I did every little side narrative. There are certain things you can do if you defeat a character too fast. You will unlock a separate ending, a side story, such as beating Frieza too fast. It will say, wow, you actually beat up Frieza too fast. We don't even got to continue the story. And it will side branch and end. I had to reduce the difficulty to continue the story because I kept winning so much. I realized that a lot of people have a lot of issues with a particular boss fight. Grade 8 Vegeta. That shows me that you didn't learn the mechanics. That shows me that you refuse to learn the mechanics or use the mechanics. It feels cheap to use it. Nope, nothing is cheap in this game. Use whatever you can to win in this game. This is Dragon Ball Z. This is hacks, BS, nonsense powers. Win, do whatever you can to win. I'm serious. I mean this with my whole chest. I mean this with my whole soul. Don't do anything that makes you feel like, oh, I'm not gonna. Nope, learn the mechanics, beat the game, learn it, love it, unlock all the characters, stop stressing out about it. It doesn't matter. Your trophy means nothing to you in the real world. It doesn't. You're still not beating me in this game. You need to get past this so you can unlock the characters and actually practice for the harder fights, because there are significantly harder fights than Grade 8 Vegeta. That is the first giant fight you have, and I think it might be one of the 2 giant fights in the game because there's no movie stories or anything of that variety. It's just Vegeta, and then there's Aniraza at Super. That's pretty much it. I loved this story mode a lot, because in midway through the battle you can do specific things such as clash the Galick Gun with the Kamehameha, which is insanely difficult doing the Vegeta fight. I'm telling you that right now. Getting that little Thesina trigger is insanely difficult because Vegeta's is instant, but you have to charge with Goku, so you gotta line up very specifically to do it that way, and that is really fun. But the aspect of story mode that matters to me, it is not going through the regular story piece by piece, bit by bit, brick by boring brick. That matters not to me. What matters to me in this story mode is the branching narratives. I did every single branching narrative with Goku the instant I possibly could. I did all of it, every single piece of it. I loved every single aspect of it. I loved it. I was over the moon, over the sun, over the run, over the fun, over the gun. It was great. I did if Vegeta got Super Saiyan after Goku got Super Saiyan upon Vegeta destroying Krillin. There's gonna be a bit of spoilers right here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I sectioned the video for once in my life, so please just skip ahead if you don't want spoilers. I ended up getting the Gohan Black extra narrative through the Future Trunks saga, which was amazing because it goes to show that in the Gohan story, if he actually kept up with his training and actually beat Dabura and did those things, the trigger set off of that event will unlock Goku Black. Goku Black, great narrative choice. I think that's better than Goku Black. Gohan Black is godlike. I love that. I do not like the fact that the Fuse Zamasu state is simply the same as it was if Goku fused with Zamasu. That was pretty garbage. Didn't really appreciate that or like that. But what I did appreciate is the fact that you can shake off Bobby's mind control with Vegeta. You can shake that off. You can have Jiren win the Tournament of Power and actually become an interesting character, because Jiren is a very boring character. You can make him become slightly interesting, making him have more selfish realized goals, saying the fact of the matter of, I actually want to fight Goku again because I'm going to bring back all the universes. That was pretty cool. I love that. A little bit of a cop-out, but I appreciate that. The what if stories are actually so good that they're worth playing through. They're worth going in blind. Every single piece of the story is revamped, rechanged, and reformatted. Frieza has a thing where Frieza actually beats Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and Frieza ends up making a deal with Beerus in order to get the Frieza Force back, and the Frieza Force comes back. Zarbon, Dodoria, the Ginyu Force, they all come back, and you get to choose to have them in 4 different branching narratives where you get to choose King Cold, the Ginyu Force, Zarbon, Dodoria, or Cooler to come join you with the Tournament of Power, all having different branching narratives. I did all 4 of them. They were really fun. I enjoyed that. That is something I actually paid attention to. I loved every single piece of branching narrative when it came to that. That was something that made me feel like this game cares about its characters and its story and development. This was made by Dragon Ball Z fans. They thought about most situations. I never even considered that. That's something I didn't even consider. They had a situation in which Goku Black, I hate the Goku Black story, by the way. That's just me personally. I don't like the time travel shenanigans. Time travel has never narratively been done correctly to me in terms of Dragon Ball Z story. It feels like a confined mess. The original timeline is Trunks's, in which Goku actually passes away. Thus, it's a whole bunch of nonsense. But I do appreciate it's something even deeper than that, is the fact of Goku Black winning and showing what happens if he wins and the human eradication plan happens. I think it would have been much fun to add more things, such as having the Truffles and Goku Black combined together, having baby Vegeta, or maybe even having baby Vegeta mixed with Zamasu would have been cool. That would have been fun, having a cool what if character. I think they really dropped the ball on what if characters. The only true what if character we have is Gohan Black. I guess you could consider Super Saiyan Vegeta Scouter a what if character, but that's not really a true what if character. I like the aspect of adding a bit of more wackiness to it, making a fusion variety of things. In Budokai 2, they allowed you to use Super Buu fused with Tien and Yamcha. There was a way to actively as well get Super Buu fused with Cell and a Super Buu fused with Frieza. I love those a lot. Those were really fun. I thought that was a fun way to do the story. Those feel like narrative decisions and different directorial stances that make the game feel more fleshed out and fun. And these what if scenarios, they are still fun. I love them. I love the fact that you can choose to have Master Roshi, Krillin, and all these other characters defeat Raditz, and he doesn't go and get Kaioken training, making the fight significantly more difficult, but him having to unlock Super Saiyan form in order to do that. But Vegeta saw Super Saiyan form, and then he learned to do that. I love the fact that Gohan, he gets his own side story. Piccolo even gets a chance where he gets to defeat Cell and goes against Android 17. That was really cool. I thought that was a great narrative choice. That felt amazing. Every single branching path and narrative has a fun little side story to it, and it feels so fun to have. It feels like they actually spent time down at the writing board and storyboarding out random scenarios that they could possibly put in just for the sake of making it more fun, because we've all done it. We've been seeing the same Dragon Ball Z stories since 2000. We've seen every piece of it. We know how it goes. Frieza Saga, Cell Saga, Buu Saga, Dragon Ball Super. We've seen it all. We've seen it so many times over. It's an old series, but this is for the fans, so they made it more fun and narratively enjoyable for us. There are tournament modes in the game. There are tournament modes that don't really add anything. They're basically a way to get more Zenny. The tournament modes don't really add everything to it. There's a Yamcha mode where you have the Yamcha Cup or Yamcha Tournament, the World Yamcha thing, where you have to play as Krillin or a smaller character. I only did it once. I'm not gonna lie to you. I only did it once just to get the achievement. So I did the Yamcha Cup, and you fight Yamcha at the end, and it's really interesting. You fight against a bunch of big heavy hitters. I, for some reason, was going against, I believe, Kale and Kefla or something of that variety. I don't know who I was going against. It was strange. It was very fun, though. I love that. The tournament modes are just the tournament modes, and there is actually a tournament mode online, I believe. I could be wrong. I didn't play it. There could be an online tournament mode. If I'm right about that, somebody comment that. If I'm wrong, you know what I mean? So that is the fun aspect of the story mode within this game. The other modes that are included is something that I'm so happy that they added to this. It is a character encyclopedia in which all Bulma, Videl, and Chi-Chi, the wives of the series, of the 3 main Saiyans, talk about every single character. I spent 4 hours just doing that. And I'll go back and do it again. I spent 4 hours just doing that. I might release a video just going through every single thing you can do with each character and everything everyone has to say about it. I'm not sure if I'll do that. Somebody might want those free easy views. Actually, I'm gonna do that exactly after this. I want those free easy views. Screw that person. I want that. That's what I crave. That's what I want in this lifetime. That's what I enjoy. I'll do that exactly after that. There's different BGMs you can unlock. There's customization in the game. I don't want to knock that. There's customization in the game. You can choose to have customization in online ranked, but there's not many people doing that. You can customize your character. There should be more customization options. There are not enough. They could have went crazy, psychotic, same thing they did with Super Dragon Ball Z. You guys probably don't know about Super Dragon Ball Z. I'm going to put some gameplay up of Super Dragon Ball Z. You can make these characters kind of kooky and crazy in this game. It didn't have a lot of characters. This felt like a real fighting game for some reason. It felt very technical because it was very difficult to pull off some of the moves. It was an interesting fighting game. I'm not sure which studio made this, but it looks like Budokai, but it doesn't feel like Budokai at all. There was some fun customization in that game. In this game, they could have gave Goku a gun. They could have given every character a halo. They could have given wings. They could have added so many different things to the game. I imagine the modders may add stuff to the game to make it more eventful. Or if there is cosmetics, I will gladly pay for cosmetics. I'm aware now that we can't unlock them in the game, or maybe you'll come out with a patch maybe later, but you cannot unlock them initially. And that is strange and odd to me. I feel like that is odd. I unlocked everything else in the game by playing, and that's something that I cannot say about a lot of games anymore. This felt like an old PS2 game because I just played the game and unlocked everything. I got everything I could possibly need to play the game functionally. There's no character that is hidden and superly unlocked. There's nothing super secret in the game. You can just play the game and unlock it. There are 3 kinds of Dragon Balls in this game. I want to point this out immediately. 3 kinds of Dragon Balls in this game: Shenron, Porunga, and Super Shenron. Super Shenron, pretty easy to get. Pretty easy to get. Don't buy any characters, by the way. Stop buying characters. Porunga and Shenron. Shenron is easy. Shenron is easy. You get 1 wish. Porunga is the best thing to get. You get 3 wishes, but the only way to get Porunga balls, from what I understand and from what I've done, is literally doing a player 1 versus CPU match. I did this over and over and over and over again. I played as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and I was fighting against Hercule, and I kept doing it. When I say kept doing it, I really do mean I kept doing it. It was hellish. I did 42 battles, I think. It was nuts and psychotic. I didn't enjoy that. There are certain special interactions you can get when you pick a specific team. You can do a specific kind of battle. You can get a specific kind of narrative and dialogue. You pick the entire Ginyu Force. They have particular things where they do specific poses in the thing. You pick a team of all Goku looking people like Turles Bardock, Goku Black, and Goku. Whoa, these guys look a lot like me. I'm among familiar company. Guys, we literally all look the same. You can pick the smaller characters. You can pretty much test this out and do this with a bunch of things. That is dedication. They didn't have to do that, by the way. There's no need for them to do that. Every character has some form of fun interaction. If you pick a specific character that relates to another, you can also sort each character by related to Goku, related to Vegeta, related to Gohan, other universes. You can sort characters and filter it out to make it easier to sift through all 100 some odd characters. That's super fun, and that's extra dandy. That was so fun to do, just watching and listening to everybody talk and have them interact with each other. That is what it means to have fun, creative, narrative, directive decisions. This game was made with so much passion. It is fun. Let's talk about custom battles. Custom battles are what-if scenarios created that you can make yourself. There are probably going to be hundreds upon thousands upon millions upon billions upon trillions upon over 9,000 of these things. There's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be a lot. A bunch of people are going to get in there and have the time of their lives. I know Salad Saiyan, he's a great what-if content creator. He is probably going to make a bunch there. Dotto may go in there and make some. Rhyme Style, amazing content creator. Afro Senju, amazing. Globku, hopefully you can make some too. All these content creators, I hope they spend the time to actually make these. You can set the narrative through lines and things of that variety. I'm not good at making things, so I just played the custom battles, which were really fun, that are automatically done. I played a few made by the people that were in advanced access. That was really fun. And the game dropped, and I played a few by those people. That was actually fun. I enjoyed every bit of that. I enjoyed playing with these people, and it felt fun to see their custom battles. Some of them are really fun. Some of them are super cool. In particular, there's one where you're Goku Black and you have to go against every other Goku to see in that variety. There's one where you're Zamasu, and this is made by a fan. I'm not sure the exact one, but there's one by a fan. He's playing against Zamasu, and you have to go fight every single Goku variation. Everybody that looks like Goku saying, this isn't the right body. This is strange. This isn't the right body. Wait a minute. I thought this was the correct body. I gotta find the right Goku. This is so odd. There's one where, this is made by the actual people that made the game, Bandai, where Goku is going and fighting Janemba. He fights Cooler and he fights Frieza and says, I need you for the Tournament of Power. And I would have loved if we would have had the opportunity. I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if this video is going to do big or great. I have no clue. Bandai, if you ever listen to anything I ever say in my life, make Cell Dorado. El Dorado is the city of gold. Cell Dorado is a golden cell. Frieza can turn golden. If you give us Cell Dorado, I will lose my mind. It's perfect cell with a gold tint. You giving us Gohan Blanco. That was in the main storyline. Beast Gohan, I'm fine with that, whatever. Give me Cell Dorado. You don't got to give me El Hermano. Just give me Cell Dorado, please. Cell Dorado goes so off the tongue. Call him Cell Dorado, too. You have free range to take that idea. Just make it into the game. I would love that so deeply to have Cell come back. Cell Dorado would go sicko mode. I would love that so much. It would be so fun. I love this game. I really do. Everything this game has shown me has been beautiful, narratively, constructively, from the small details they put into everything, from every single minutia point. I love it. Here are a few tips about the game if you're going to get into it. Learn the mechanics. I have been playing online, dominating people, not because I'm great at the game or because I'm some masterclass at the game. I'm just an old veteran who's really good at playing and understanding the mechanics of the game. Learn the mechanics. Go to advanced training and learn. They teach you how to play the game. They really do. Go out of your way to actually spend time and learn it. Don't pick too high a DP characters. That will ruin your entire playtime session of the game. You need to actually take time and learn the DP and how it operates and formulate a team. Balance yourself. Playing as lower DP characters to get better at the base fundamentals is a great thing to do. Learn how to counter. Countering is very important in this game. And finally, the few last things I have to say, I believe I've covered every aspect of the game that matters to me, is please, directors, add more stages to offline mode. Add more customization options. If you are upset that you're not getting that many views on this content yet, keep pushing. I do not plan to become a Dragon Ball Sparking creator. I do not plan to become an anime-only channel. This is something of a passion project for me, and the only reason I'm able to even push this is because of my Patreon. If you'd like to help my Patreon, it is linked in the top comment at the current moment. If you made it this far, I thank you. If you enjoyed that, thank you. I love you all. Thank you for checking out my video. Thank you for witnessing me for this time period. This is a bit longer than my usual other videos, but I felt this something in my soul that I had to make a video about. Now then, I believe I've covered pretty much everything. Besides the fact that if you want to get better, practice against a hard COM. The CPU is actually insane in this game. I believe I've covered every aspect. I know you're going to be playing with your friends. I know you're going to be playing locally, and hopefully they add more stages to local. I know you're going to be wanting to get right in. I know you're hoping they add crossplay. God, I hope they add crossplay one day. I just hope they do. I know you're wishing for more for this game, and hopefully this can become a monument and a giant stepping stone. And I'm sure by the time I release this video, this game will break 2 million, 4 million, 5 million, 7 million player counts. I'll put the player count on screen as soon as it releases. And look at the number. I know it's huge. I know it's enormous. I know it's crazy. I know this number is only going to grow and extend as people can buy the game more. I know this is going to be a consistent thing. And this is just Steam. We go to the PlayStation player accounts, Xbox. Most of you are probably playing this on PlayStation or Xbox. This game is a generational, godlike game. This is not a fighting game. This is a Dragon Ball Z game. This is a phenomenal masterclass in how to listen to fans and listen to people that care about the product more than anyone else. I love you all. Thank you for existing. I hope to see you online. And if they add crossplay PlayStation, I'm coming for your neck. Now everybody, if you could for a moment, raise your hands to the sky, to the Genki Dama, the Super Spirit Bomb. Give me your energy and hope for the striving success of this game. And if you could, I know this is a lot extra. I seem like I'm padding out time. But give me your best yell. Yell with me. Yell with me. Thank you. Go play some Sparking Zero now. Click off this video. Have fun.
Hey, it's me, Goku!